think they've done three things that are really relevant to this audience. The first is, hey, I heard about this Kubernetes thing. Can I have one as part of my, next gen deployment? Yes, it's intrinsic to that. Two is I want a much more sophisticated, progressive API surface area to enable my infrastructure teams to deliver services and to take that step into the world of services to application teams and other teams. Can we now produce a API surface area on vSphere that enables you to reason about all of your existing assets, those VMs, plus these new things, Kubernetes clusters and pods and containers and whatnot. The realization that the team had that, hey, it turns out Kubernetes is pretty good at this. It's a pretty pragmatic way of reasoning about large numbers of things, of partitioning them up to namespaces, of applying labels, of being able to organize and project a declarative interface to deal with those things. And so by baking Kubernetes into vSphere, it's not just about like, hey, you can have Kubernetes to run your applications. It's like, no, the vSphere control plane is fronted by a Kubernetes interface. That creates a very strong set of positive outcomes. And then the final thing that I think is absolutely crucial is a recognition that containers and virtualization are somewhat orthogonal technologies. If you think about virtualization, this is a technology that's been around for some time. The ability to take a single piece of infrastructure and then project it out into smaller consumable units and hide away the specifics of where it's running, live migrate those things around, do all of that. It's a really interesting capability. It comes with high levels of security isolation and resource isolation. It comes with the ability to kind of migrate and move things around in a much more natural fashion. What containers have done is they've kind of stepped it up a little bit and said, hey, what happens when we take an operating system and project it out in the same way? So it's almost operating system level virtualization. And so, when we look at the opportunity here to bring those worlds together, it becomes very strong. So the ability to use virtualization for what it's really good for, resource isolation, security isolation, etc., but then tying that back into the world so you can use containers, what they're really good for. And I think the work that the Project Pacific team has done around pod VMs and the ability to have very lightweight, very efficient, highly optimized runtime environments for these new workloads is exciting.